Hello and welcome to Teaching Through Repertoire. This is El Toro, the bass part. I'm going to do a quick tutorial on some of the things to think about, and then we'll have a play-along track. We're going to start out with the bowing. Now, as a bass player, you are setting that foundation for the entire orchestra, so as you're practicing, always good to have a tuner around, because the notes that you play will help everybody else to be more in tune. Second thing, because you establish the downbeat, which is the first beat of every measure, it's nice to do that with our strongest bowing. A down bow is stronger than an up bow. So looking at measure 2, it says to do an up bow. I wouldn't. I would do down, up, up. And that way you can have extra punch on those down bows. Looking at measures 2, 4, 6, and 8, I would write in the words down, up, up, using the symbols for those bowings. Looking ahead at 31, you might notice the same kind of concept is happening here. We have a lift, but then if we don't change our bowing, 33 ends up on an up bow, which isn't going to be the most powerful feeling, and we want those downbeats to be powerful. So here's what I recommend. In 31, you see the down bow followed by a down bow. I would do that in 33, 35, 37, 39, 41, 43. Every time you have that quarter note followed by the 4/8 notes, I would do a down bow, lift, followed by a down bow. Which means that every time you have the 3/4 notes, like in 32, 34, 36, and not 38, but all the way in 40 and 42, as we jump along, you'll want those bowings to match the bowing you see in measure 44. Down, up, up. That way you can always have a strong down bow on the down beat. Let's play a little bit of that just so you can see an example of it. Here's measure 1. Ready, set, and down, rest, rest, down, up, up, 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 down. That's the bowing we're looking at. Now, a couple other things to cover. Make sure in measure 4, if you check in the key signature, there's only one sharp, which means on your A string, that is second finger C, not fourth finger C sharp. So make sure to pay close attention to any time you play the note C on the A string, we have our second finger, so we get the right sound. We don't want C sharps, we want C. Also, we have a rhythm that we might not have seen too much. Because we have 3 beats per measure, you're not going to see any whole notes because whole notes get 4 beats. And in this piece, we have a lot of dotted half notes. So looking at measure 9, you have the half note with the dot next to it, boom, dotted half note. And that's worth 3 beats, which means that entire measure is filled with that sound. It would look like this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. That would be 9, 10, 11, and 12 if I count through and sustain our dotted half notes. Next thing that's challenging, jump all the way to 31. This is where we have our lift followed by the 8th notes. We have lift, down, up, up, lift, down, up, up, lift, down, up, up, lift. I would practice that by itself many times until you're comfortable with the motion of a very fast lift. And once that lift has been established, you'll notice that your arm will do it automatically every time it sees that pattern. Now, everything is the same until 53, where we start to get a ton of Italian. That first note is loud, that second note is soft. It's a piano, and there's a line over it, which means tenuto, which means to play the note for full value. So looking at 53, we have piano, crescendo, and we're going to slow down until we land at 55, where you have a fermata over a dotted half note over S, F, Z, P. That's a lot of information. Let's break it all down. 53, first note loud and short. Second note, piano and connected. Each note gets louder as we keep slowing down. And then at 55, we're going to grab the string and we're going to release it like a gush of wind coming through a room if you open a window. We want our bow to be quite fast. But then we want to end at nothing. We want it to sound very airy. because we're going to have a soloist playing. There'll be a violin soloist at 55. So we hold this note until they're done playing. Then you look at the conductor. They say, all right, next measure, 56, same thing. But this time there's a cello soloist. We wait till they're finished. We lift our bow, we look at the conductor again, and we start playing measures 57, following their conducted arms. Make sure you are right there, nice and slow. So let's put this into context. Here's 53 all the way to the end of 64. Ready? Here we are. 1, 2, 3, crescendo, measure 55. Hold for the soloist. They're all finished. We lift our bow, and 56. We hold, let the cellist do their solo. We play very, very soft, and 57. Very slow, very heavy. And each measure, we're going to get faster and louder until we get to the end of 64, and it says DCL coda. Now DCL coda means go back to the beginning. Go back to measure 1 and play all the way through measure 44 until you see the coda symbol. When you see that coda symbol at the end of 44, the second time you play through this piece, you jump down to the coda at 65. Now looking at 65, there's no new music there. So what we're going to do now is go all the way back to the beginning, and I'm going to play the entire track so you can play along with it and see what things you have to work on. Here we go. Measure 1, all the way through. 1, 2, and 3, and ready, and set, and go. 1, 2, and 3, down, up, ready, down, up, measure 5, 2, down, ready, down, measure 9, 2, 3, sustain, 2, 3, get softer, and 13, pizzicato, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 16, 17, 17, 19, and 21, ready, go. 2, 3, 22, 2, 3, 23, 2, 3, 24, 2, 3, 25, 26, 27. Lift your bow, down, up, measure 30, 31. Lift, down, up, lift, down, up, lift, down, up, lift, 39, and lift. Down, up, lift. Down, up, lift. Down, up, 45. 2, 3, down, down. 2, 3, down, up. 2, 3, down, up, down. 2, 3, down, up, down. Piano, connect. Ready, and hold. Very, very soft for our soloist. We look up at the conductor. They cut us off. 56. Very, very soft. And 57. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 61, 2, 3. Get ready, beginning, and 1, 2, 3, down, up, 1, 2, 3, down, up, down, 2, 3, down, 2, 3, measure 9, 2, 3, 10, 2, 3, 11, 2, 3, 13, go. 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 21, and 2, 3, 2, coda. Ready for the coda. 65. Rest, rest. Rest, rest. Down, bow, down, up, up. Down, bow. And 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. 2, 3, 1. And that's the whole tutorial and play along track for El Toro. Go slowly, work on the parts that confuse you, check in with the time signature, check in with the key signature, make sure you have a metronome handy, and make sure you practice. Because remember, if you practice every day, by the end of the year, you'll be taller.